and expired medicines, the purpose of which is to ensure that the dangerous drugs that are confiscated from anti-drug operations are properly disposed with in accordance with legal requirements. So there are required witnesses for that, and later on we are going to meet them. But first we will listen to the message of our guest of honor, who is the current presiding judge of Branch 14 of Baybay City and concurrently Branch 24 of Maasin City. Formerly, he lent his considerable legal expertise at Branch 10 in Abuyog and Branch 18 in Hilongos, both in the province of Leyte. Our guest speaker is also a law professor at the Don Vicente Orestes Romualdez Educational Foundation College of Law, and he got his roots from the Divine Word University College of Law. He is the author of books on the Bill of Rights and Onus Probandi, a family man, a pillar of the community, an expert in election law, constitutional law, political, and remedial law. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Honorable Carlos O. Ardillas, the judge of the RTC Branch 14 of Baybay City, the RTC branch representative, and our guest of honor for this morning's activity. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Carlos O. Ardillas.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, Visiten. I'm very sure that you knew me because of that case of Espinosa. So, I was just surprised last Wednesday when somebody from the PDEA went to my office and asking me if I'm available today. And I told her that I can accommodate this activity. Actually, the court is one of the stakeholders in the enforcement as well as in the implementation of Republic Act 9165. Although in my court, you will notice that maybe the acquittal is higher than the conviction. At any rate, justice is served. And I would like to emphasize this. Recently, I was exonerated by the Supreme Court in the case of Espinosa together with, sadly, the two judges were fined. I am very sure that you are familiar with that incident that arose in 2016, and it was an insinuation that I failed to resolve the motion of Espinosa to transfer from the Baybay Sub-Provincial Jail to his store in Alvera. And it was on November 5, 2016 that incident arose. So that case dragged until August of 2021 when I was exonerated. No? According to one lawyer, it's better delayed than pregnant. At any rate, this activity is very important for all of us. The law enforcers, the prosecutors, all stakeholders of the enforcement, the implementation, and the prosecution of illegal drugs. It is the battle cry of this administration. It was confiscated by Espinido et al. It was turned over to my court and it was withdrawn. 11 kilos of drugs. I have no idea at present because that case was transferred to Manila. See? At any rate, Espinosa was killed. So, I have no idea where it goes. So, I'm asking the PDEA, the help of the PDEA, to track that. Because that is 11 kilos. And the case was dismissed due to his demise. So, this is also part of our concern. Why? Because, as earlier alluded to, by the very good director of the PDEA, this is to, to erase insinuation of recycling into the market. See, from time to time. And I'm very proud also to tell you that in my jurisdiction, from 500 cases, mostly in drug cases in branch 14, our cases now load is only 170. And only few are drug-related cases. That is why I told the Chief of Police before, Rino Miron, because he placed in that interim bye-bye drug-free. I told him, is the drug-free in this city? See, at any rate, be that as it may. So, this is an appeal to you and to all of us that we play a vital role in the enforcement, in the implementation, and the prosecution of drug cases. Notwithstanding, in that case of Estepono versus Lobrigo, we were allowed to enter plea bargaining cases, plea bargaining in drug cases. And we were able to dispose of most of the cases in our dockets. And we have now the case of People versus Riapor. According to the Supreme Court, if there is no conformity by the public prosecutor, there can be no valid plea bargaining. In fact, I was subjected to 29 certiorari cases by the Solgin before the Court of Appeals, still the acting presiding judge of Abuyog Leyte. Because I allowed also plea bargaining in drug cases. And most of, I think, all over the Philippines, that is one of the modes of decongesting your courts, because our courts are saddled with drug cases. And actually, we have, from time to time, when I was assigned in branch 18 in Hilongos, I noticed that most of the drug cases were dismissed by the Court of Appeals. Actually, when the evidence is tainted with infirmity from the moment it is seized, that cannot be cured. No matter how good are your witnesses, no matter how good are your prosecutors. A bad case, there is no good prosecutor in a bad case. I'm very sure that Prosecutor Dolina will agree with me. So, oftentimes, it is, the insinuation is on the prosecutor and the judge of being corrupted. See? But remember that the law is very strict insofar as the implementation of this kind of cases. See? And that is why we have to take into consideration our respective rule in this war against drugs. From time to time. Anyway, there are some insinuations that only those who do not belong to the higher echelon are being arrested, being killed, but that is part of the game. If you witness how Colombia was at the time that Colombia was under was that notorious drug peddler, notorious drug trader, recognized universally. So they can even launch war against the government. And in our situation, it's good that we have an active PDEA, we have an active law enforcement insofar as drug cases. So I hope that this move of the drug enforcement, the drug enforcement of our of the PDEA had succeeded. See, and it is almost the end of the term of President Duterte, and I do hope that we continue that passion to prosecute, passion to arrest, passion to prosecute, and that passion to incarcerate these people. With the court, with the judges in the court, just relied on the evidence. See, just relied on the evidence. In my court, I'm very strict. Insofar as witnesses, because we have to see to it. You cannot convict an accused because he is being branded as notorious peddler. See, we just rely on the evidence. Because if you convict that accused, it went to the court of appeals, it is acquitted, that is useless accomplishment. You know, there are law enforcers who wanted to arrest as many as they can because of accomplishment. That is the reality. And we knew that. See? Let us erase that mindset that because we have the list, we want this percentage of accomplishment, we have to, from time to time, and scrupulously do these things. No, we cannot do that. We have to see to it that the law is implemented in its proper procedure to prevent dismissal, to prevent acquittal. Because it will boomerang to us. You know, remember, I was confronted with, there was a police officer, and according to his testimony, he was the evidence custodian, and he has that money, that marked money. But when I asked him, where is that marked money? Nowhere to be found. Somebody stole it when he was in the downtown of Tacloban City, my God. I told him, I will report you to the provincial director. But I pity because he's only I think PO1. See how, actually, if you see the law, in fact, sometimes we are confused. Who is the custodian of drugs and non-drug items? Because the police officer they have their own evidence custodian. The PDEA, you have your evidence custodian also. And these drugs, ultimately, it is found in the PNP crime laboratory. You see, that chain of custody, it is always the rule on chain of custody that goes with the merits of your case. And we cannot deny that once there is an insinuation of broken chain of custody, the court has no recourse except to acquit the accused. You cannot blame us. That is why I appeal to all of us. Let us have a concerted and unison effort in your arrest, in your prosecution, and in our judgment. Because we cannot deny also the state of his justice. If we see that the person is really guilty and there are no infirmities in the conduct of the rest. That is the ultimate justice. Not only that we go after somebody who is notorious. Remember that. So, this activity is very important. Actually, I have 22 cases in Baybay City. But you know, when the judge is the one who is asking for postponement, everybody agree. See? Everybody agree. That is the advantage of the judge. That is the advantage of the judge. Because there was a story about postponement. According to the lawyer was asking for postponement. Postponement, Your Honor. And according to the judge, what ground? You know, Your Honor, I have no evidence. My client is not in court. Why? Because his carabo is sick. So, according to the judge, what is the relation of that carabo to your client? According to the lawyer, Your Honor, please, that is the only means of transportation of my client to this court. And he is sick. So, the judge asked the adverse counsel, defense counsel, what is your objection? According to the defense counsel, you object, Your Honor, because there is no medical certificate. But if the judge will be the one to postpone, everything is postponed. At any rate, I would like to emphasize proper procedure in the arrest, proper prosecution, and the court will have its own rule in the dispensation of justice. This activity is very important for all of us. Why? Because we have to erase that insinuation of the public that law enforcers are authors of recycled drugs. See? This distraction, these are not writings in the wall. And this is only the beginning. Although the law is very specific that in 24 hours, from the time that you confiscate, you get the sample, and then the rest will be destroyed. But these are not observed. Why? Because the defense counsel will be insisting, where is that sachet? What are the markings? See? They are pertinent on those points, because once the chain of custody is broken, there is no case. See? Remember, in fact, the Supreme Court has already ruled in that old case of People versus Peralta. Justice Abad even suggested, these are the questions to be asked to the law enforcer, to the chemist, so that you actually, I would like to make this point that if the PDEA, sometimes I told the prosecutor never admit. See, they just admit the chemistry report, and according to the Supreme Court, no, that will not prove the chain of custody. See, merely admission is on the due execution of the authenticity of that document. And that is very fatal. See? Let us help each other. Let us help each other. I think some of the PDEA personnel, agents, have testified in my sala. See? Have testified in my sala. Even one police officer testified in my sala, and according to Your Honor, I'm moving for the resetting of this case. Why? Bangin ko na kung mag-stroke. Siring ko na anak ko, kadiri, malaksi ka, yan na kay, you know, we have to erase this. We have, now if you are the team leader, be the team leader in that case. Don't be the team leader only during the rest. This is the reality. I don't want to, with no offense, police, my team leader, ay kimpapadaray PO1, nga ito pagtistigos. In tao ng PO1, bisan na nga ng English, di na nagkakamuha mo, he is the one being castigated by the court. Sometimes the court will say, are you a member of the DA? Why, Your Honor? Because you are part of planting evidence. See? You know, this insinuation, that is why we have to be firm in our, if you are the team leader, be the team leader. If you are the listing officer, see to it that we have to follow the procedure. Let us stick to our respective rules. In the prosecution, and the court will do its job. See? So, this activity is only the beginning. This is part on how we enforce Republic Act 9165. The end that shelters for the night is not the journey's end. We should be ready for tomorrow. We have to continue. See? Because if we slumber, these people will be laughing at us. See, from time to time, you file cases. Actually, if your purpose in filing cases in court is just for purposes of accomplishment, that is useless. Why? Ultimately, the accused is acquitted. And remember, you have Section 29, if I'm not mistaken. If you incriminated somebody for a crime under Republic Act 9165, what is the penalty? The penalty is life imprisonment. In fact, some lawyers will have to confront you. Do you know this? Do you know this law? See? Do you know this section? It's good that nobody had filed any case once they're acquitted. But that is the legal consequence. Remember that. Maybe in one situation. See? In one situation. So the possibilities are there. You have to. If we slumber, we do not follow the proper procedure, ultimately, all these cases will be dismissed. So, our efforts are in vain. So, not only for purposes of accomplishment, the accomplishment must be a bona fide, there must be a bona fide intention for all of us. See, from the very start. Because the court will have to do its job. The court will see to it that justice is served to the government, justice is served to the accused. Remember, it's always in favor of the accused. And the burden of evidence rests upon the prosecution. So the possibilities, there are two possibilities. Either we fail or we succeed. It's a choice for all of us. See? I was reminded of the story of a man who was afraid to die. See, why? Because he did not experience of what to be experienced. So he went to his friend and asked for an advice. And according to his friend, don't worry, my friend, because when a man dies, there are only two possibilities. Either you become part of the soil or you will become a tree. If you will become part of the soil, my friend, will are good. But if you will become a tree, there are only two possibilities, my friend. Either you will become a lumber or you will become a paper. If you will become a lumber, my friend, well and good. But if you will become a paper, there are only two possibilities. See? Either you will become a bond paper or a tissue paper. See? If you will become a bond paper, my friend, well and good. But if you will become a tissue paper, there are only two possibilities, my friend. Either you will be used by a man or you will be used by a woman. With no offense. Gender free. See? If you will be used by a man, my friend, well and good. But if you will be used by a woman, there are only two possibilities, my friend. Either you will be used up or you will be used down. If you will be used up, my friend, well and good. But if you will be used down, there are only two possibilities. Either you will be used at the front or you will be used at the rear. If you will be used at the rear, my friend, well and good. But if you will be used at the front, that's the time that you hit your objective. Although that story is somewhat grim, but we should hit our objective, and that is proper prosecution. See? Proper implementation. The PDEA is, remember, sometimes the defense counsel will be asking, did you coordinate with the PDEA? The Supreme Court said, that is not important. See? Did you coordinate with the PDEA? Was there surveillance? That, according to the Supreme, that is. So what we should stick is on the provisions of the law. Let us also commend our prosecutors for on the forefront of, that is your first, that is your, the prosecution is your the public prosecutors are your counsels. See? So from time to time, cases are postponed despite that we have a speedy trial. In fact, we have to decide drug cases within 15 days from submission, but we have the confluence of several factors. So thank you very much, Director and all stakeholders, Prosecutor Dulina, and all representatives, and my fellow workers in the government. Thank you for this occasion, giving me an opportunity to just an insight on our efforts in the eradication of illegal drugs. If we cannot eradicate totally illegal drugs, maybe to the maximum, see, we have to curb the proliferation of illegal drugs. See, in fact, at present, it's the presidential goals are barking, see, on illegal drugs, the use of illegal drugs. So, thank you very much. Good day and advance Merry Christmas.